My Dystopian Robot Girlfriend is a non-linear survival story game made by Unconditional, and it's the type of game you need to play with your door closed when your family's home. I've lost a lot of hours to the game, and a lot of buckets. MDIG takes place in Dystopia, America, where highly advanced sex bots are now banned due to an international dispute between the US and China. One of the reasons for the ban was that sex bots were so good at their job, it caused America's birth rate to drastically decline since men preferred robots over real women. In other words, America was about to have an aging population crisis. The US government was concerned that China's exports were becoming a major security risk, once again showing the extreme might of the glorious CCP, all rights reserved. Subsequently, all factories were shut down and mass riots ensued. Mega corporations, militias, and terrorist groups fought over the last remaining sex bots in the world. Now considered as illegal contraband, getting caught with a sex bot will result in you being sent to the Timu dildo factory labor camp. When does this all take place, you ask? Apparently in the very far future of 2025, which is literally a month away. Story. You are Anon. You live in a shitty apartment complex in the city. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Your dad's dead. And the relationship with your mother's not so great. Oh, and you just lost your job. So, you got no job, no bitches, and no money. Also, your dickhead of a landlord wants $800 rent every week. However, one night, everything changes when a fleeing military truck accidentally drops a highly advanced spot outside your apartment. You secretly take it in and realize you can make moolah by doing live streams on Twitch, a platform for cam girls and porn stars, which is not so far from what Twitch is right now. Since having a sex bot is highly illegal, Anon uses a VPN in China to avoid being caught, which brings me to today's sponsor. This is where the game begins. The choices you make from now on determine if you survive in this unforgiving city. The game has 15 main endings. Virtually all of them either result in you dying, getting caught by the feds, or your robot getting kidnapped by a secret organization. Since the main plot is still in development, there is no happy ending at the moment. So for now, your playthrough could be considered a success once you've avoided every game over ending for the main story. You have 24 in-game hours to do whatever you want before the next day. The game has no day limit, so you can theoretically play for an infinite number of days. However, the majority of the current content can be completed by around day 30. Apart from the main events, there are also many little encounters in the game that are non-linear, meaning you don't always encounter them on the same day in every playthrough. The game has a stamina, hunger, and sanity bar. Both stamina and hunger deplete naturally as time goes on. Stamina tells how long you can stay up for. Sleeping is the main way of restoring stamina. If you don't, you'll collapse, and if this happens outside, you'll wake up later with some of your money stolen and a funny taste in your mouth. Stave off hunger by buying food at the grocery store. If you don't eat, you'll obviously die. Sanity is a bit more complex, but is essentially the same as the other two. Going on walks and talking to June restores sanity. By the way, June is the canonical name of your robot girlfriend. You get the choice to name her anything in the beginning, but I'm going to refer to her as June for the rest of the video. If you let your sanity drop to 0, you'll get the Daddy Destruction ending, in which Anon hallucinates his dead father, who uses the spiritual medium of vodka and Marlboro cigarettes to beat him to death, resulting in a game over. On day 1, the game will automatically put you in your first stream. I can't really show you how streaming works, otherwise this video will get taken down. But I'll do my best to describe it. Just like with a real Twitch stream, you have a live chat and donation notifications. Donations will be your bread and butter for making money, which we need to pay rent on time. The live chat allows viewers to engage with your stream and comment on what's happening. According to an online guide, the live chat has no actual influence on gameplay and is solely for reading funny comments. On the left, you have current views, subscribers, and followers. Subs give us passive income each day. Followers determine how many views your stream starts off with. On the bottom left is a tool selector that allows you to interact with June while streaming. I won't go into much detail, but the hand icon allows you to have a DJing session with her. Next to the chat function, you have a set of options. Position changes what you want to do with your bot and is mainly for your personal preference. On day 1, you'll only have one position, but later in your playthrough, you will unlock 3 more when you meet certain requirements. This option changes which hole you want to explore. The unzip button is what you think it does.
He's pulling his cock!
The last option changes the pacing of your piston with 4 modes: slow, medium, fast, and manual. Manual is mainly used for pulling out. Choosing between the other 3 influences the gauge on the bottom right called the splooge meter, which tells you when you're about to bust. Slow fills it up the slowest, fast fills it up the quickest, medium is in between. Self-explanatory. Once the meter starts shaking violently, it means you gotta spray your baby better.
I'm about to blow!
Splooging is vital to streaming because the more you come, the more money you make. Every time you splooge, your views, subs, followers, and donations blow up dramatically. However, there's a problem. There's a limited amount of loads you can splooge, and on day 1, we only have 3 loads. When you hit 0, your snake goes limp and you can no longer continue. Viewers are only there to see you lay pipe, so your view count permanently goes down, forcing you to end the stream. To regain your loads, go outside and go on several walks. One walk recovers 1 load. Return home, click the TV monitor in your room, which tells you how many loads you have in the tank. 6 walks recover 6 loads. 6 is the maximum number of loads we can have at one time, so walking more than 6 times does not give you any more. Fortunately, we can increase our maximum load count through Endurance Plus, a medication from the pharmacy, in exchange for taking a hit to our health. There's a strategy where you take 1 Endurance Plus, then go on 6 walks. You repeat this several times until you reach 69 loads, therefore becoming a singing demon. However, go any higher than 69 loads and your balls will explode, resulting in a fatal hemorrhage and a game over. Romance. June can fall in love with you over the course of the story. Her affection towards you is determined by a hidden affinity meter which can be built over time by doing certain actions. These include head pats, kissing, holding hands, and having small talks. Each action generates a different amount of sympathy, with hand holding and kissing generating the most per minute of doing them. We need to raise her affinity meter for 2 reasons. The first reason is that once June's affinity reaches a certain threshold, we'll be able to go on dates, have cute interactions, get special cutscenes, and the best feature, the ability to cuddle in bed. That's right, apart from always sticking our genitalia in places we shouldn't, we robusty enjoyers also value the warmth and attention of a fictional woman. The second reason is that romancing June is tied to our overall progression. What does that mean? It means the majority of the content in the game is locked behind this mechanic, including the main storyline. This is very relevant because in the beginning of the game, you get several dialogue options where you get to choose to either be kind to June or be an absolute dick. If you decide to be a dick, June will hate you and refuse to talk to you for the rest of the game, and her affinity will be permanently locked to 0, essentially soft-locking yourself from the entire game. The developers most likely designed it this way to punish players who dare to mistreat June. After all, being a dickhead has its consequences. In your apartment, you have your PC. This is where you save your game, check the news, and view your emails. Bang.ic News is solely for reading entertaining headlines. My favorite headlines being, hackers take down YIF website in Mozambique, crippling local furry community for years. Gallons of cum found in water supply. Many women impregnated. And newly elected Pope names himself Goku II. As you continue playing, you unlock more websites. Casino.ic is a Chinese gambling site that allows you to play slots and blackjack. When you hit big, convert your tokens for a payout. Just like my Italian grandfather used to say, gamblers, quit before hitting big. Stonks.ic allows us to invest in shares of 4 different companies: Unconditional, Bitcoin, CockTwitch, and Bang.ic. Investing is one of the main methods used by the community to become extremely rich. On day 1, you'll get an email from a man called Big Daddy Hertz asking to buy your bot. If you accept his offer, this is the fastest way to a game over. Decline instead, and the next day, he'll send you another email with a link to a store, ladyparts.ic. This is a shop where you can buy parts and modules for June. Why parts, you'll ask? Because in the beginning, June is a literal nugget, and she can't do much without arms or legs, so start saving up. All the parts come in various conditions and types. Apart from ligaments, there's also many different modules to customize June to your liking. You can also buy cat ears, cat tails, and even elf ears for those elf lovers out there. Speaking of elves, I know a guy who bought an elf archer figurine from overseas, and after 2 long years, it had yet to arrive. Naturally, he quickly grew in despair. I don't remember if he finally got the figurine in the end, but I can imagine that if he did, Elf Archer would be in prison in a jar, drowning in cum. I digress. The video is getting a bit too long now, so let me quickly summarize the core gameplay loop for the rest of your playthrough. Stream to make money, pay your weekly rent, buy parts, raise June's affinity, and play the main story. This video barely does the game justice in showcasing its content, and most of what I actually discussed was just a brief rundown, with a lot of information omitted. And I haven't even mentioned the 2 other best characters in the game, Shanice and Annalie. Originally, I was going to make an in-depth guide on how to beat the entire game. However, the video would have been over 45 minutes long, and because it took me so long to release this, mainly due to my laziness in uni, a major update came out this January, which meant everything in the guide was potentially useless. So I scrapped the entire segment from the script. But I hope my video at least piqued your interest to try the game. I highly recommend that you do a blind playthrough for your first time, because despite being a Guna game, its story and mechanics surprisingly have a lot of depth. I also suggest joining Unconditional's Discord, where the moderators and written guides will help answer any questions you have. Link in the description. Have a good one.